3 days of the closed beta test has been some of the most amount of Tekken I've played in months. First, shout out to the Tekken community and FGC boomers. I had a lot of great matches and fun times trying to set up plays, and I don't think I would have had as good of a time without that, so much love. This was the first time I got to play Tekken 8 hands-on, so I can finally experience the gameplay for myself. Overall, the game is fun to play, but there are definitely areas needing improvement. Right off the bat, graphics are fantastic, animations and the whole camera effects, stages, everything looks great. I do hope they continue to work on the lighting. I think some of the characters have a hard time contrasting against the background, so I hope they do some changes to make them pop a little bit more. But if that doesn't happen, I think that's perfectly fine. The avatars and their customizations are good and have many options as well, so I think that was a very nice sample of what we got in the beta. The lobbies are also a welcome addition, and they do well in making like a virtual arcade-like experience. It was pretty cool to go behind people playing at an arcade cabinet and then be able to spectate their matches or select them and be able to fight against their ghost if it happens to be a profile that you're interested in fighting yourself. I think it's a good addition. I did notice, however, that returning to the lobby after matches made the entire lobby extremely choppy, so that's something they need to work on. Speaking of choppy, let's talk about the netcode. Well, alright, so that maybe not be fair, but overall I wasn't really too impressed with the connection. I play on PS5 hardwired, and I accepted all types of matches, different regions, consoles, Wi-Fi wired. Out of all the matches I played, I'd say the connection was good for most of the time, but having a laggy match was also fairly frequent. Even the hardwired connections, a few times I had an issue with the connection. We've had cases where it slowed to a crawl and both the players were just hitting each other just to make the whole thing end. So connection quality, I'd say, is on par with Tekken 7, but with lower lows. So I really hope that gets addressed. Onto the gameplay, it's Tekken. The heat system adds another layer of options for the player, but those familiar with Tekken 7 will feel right at home. That extra layer means that it's much harder of a game. I already have a very difficult time learning matchups myself, so having to learn the matchup as well as the specific actions, the heat actions that each character can do, just makes more things you can need to learn. In order to help with the learning, I think it was great to have special controls, but I also think special controls also need improvement. I have a whole video on that coming, but in short, I think it's not as useful as it could be. I felt like I was getting hit by absolutely everything in the beta, so that's my own lack of knowledge, just seeing the different changes of each character. The counter hit centric gameplay of Tekken 7 may be gone, but it seems like it was replaced with the greater ability to convert hits for chunky damage. I'm in favor of shorter combo juggles in general, so I'm happy with this, as well as the changes to heat, which reduce the amount of hits after extending the combo. The heat system is not the aggressive spam fest that people were fearing, but there's definitely a bigger swing and offensive momentum. There is a sentiment that heat should be earned across rounds as meter, but I honestly don't know if that would be better. At least for now, you can fight heat with heat each round, but if your opponent earns heat for round 2 and you don't, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. It'd be even worse if they earned that heat by beating you up in round 1, so I think that would be pretty hard to overcome if you're in that position. Then there's also the discussion for heat engagers. In the closed beta, you still automatically go into heat when landing the heat engager, so the player has no choice when they activate heat without avoiding those moves. I personally had no problem of having heat automatically activate, but player agency is really important, especially with the system so integral as heat in Tekken 8. My concern with optional heat engagers is having the ability to snowball matches. If an opponent gets an early lead on you without heat, they have greater ability to close out the round using their heat later. You may say that might be just the reward of them playing well or playing better in that first half, but you would have to play even more cleanly because the threat of death starts at 50% health rather than 30 or 35. If you don't take your turn, you die. But if you make a mistake in doing so, you die. This happened fairly often in the beta matches as is, and yeah, it's not that fun. But even still, it's so hard to argue against player choice for activating heat because some really creative and exciting play could result from it. So I understand there's a big tug, and I'm actually not sure which side of the fence I'm really on in that regard. It's also entirely possible that this was done on purpose for these closed tests to force people to use the heat system for more feedback, so we'll see what happens. I do hope the whole time stop when activating heat is cut out for the full game though. It happens twice around. I don't think it's so significant enough to me need such dramatic effects with the blue and the music stopping and everything. It's disruptive and it just got old. At least keep the background music playing at full volume. So in short, what I like the visuals, animations, I like the gameplay. The gameplay was very fun. What needs improvement? Balance is a given. Netcode needs to be improved. Special controls might need tweaking. And I think heat activations, they might need to get another look at. So that's it for my quick impressions on the beta. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll catch you in the next one. See yas.